everybody, and welcome to Art with Miss V.
In the first video, we learned all about Russian abstract artist Vasily Kandinsky. Kandinsky used line, shape, and color to create art rather than realistic subjects. He is known as one of the fathers of abstract art. And then we drew on our own abstract art using line, shape, and colors. Today, we're going to color our drawings. In the last video, we created a Kandinsky-inspired abstract drawing, and today we're going to add color or whatever we would like to add. I think that I'm going to use crayons and maybe I'll add paint, but you should use any art supplies you have and you're comfortable using. Kandinsky used lots of different colors, and I think I'm going to try to use lots of different colors too. Now, I think that I'm going to, for instance, use every line as a chance to change color. So instead of coloring the whole circle blue, I think I'll stop right at the line and color the other half a different color. I might also add some patterns. Remember, your painting doesn't have to look anything like mine. Your art doesn't have to look anything like mine. It is an abstract painting, or abstract drawing rather, and that means that you're focusing more on the lines and shapes and now the colors. And I hope that you listen to music while you're drawing and while you're coloring, and that the music inspires you just like it did Kandinsky. Your art does not have to look like my art. Your art is your art, and you can make it unique. Okay, I was having so much fun that I just kept going with colors. Keep in mind, I used lots of different bright colors, but you can use any colors you want. I wanted to add paint to this, and I did leave a few spaces open, and I think I will add paint to it. You can use colored pencils, you can use markers, you can use crayons, you can use paint. Anything you have, you can use. I think I'm gonna add paint just to see what'll happen here, and I'm not exactly sure what it's gonna look like. I'm going to add watercolor paint, which, as you know, is a little bit runny, and it doesn't really always stay in the same spaces, but I thought it would be interesting. And I love the way Kandinsky used all different kinds of textures and stuff, and I think it might make it a little more Kandinsky-like. Ooh, look at that. And watercolor is used with water, so it can be runny and it can be messy, and that's just part of watercolor. Make sure you rinse your brush off every time you switch colors with watercolor. You know what? I think that I'm going to paint over here. Now, when you paint watercolor over crayon, you'll notice that the crayons sort of resist the color, and that's because they're made of wax, and wax is sort of waterproof. That's kind of cool. I couldn't find a red crayon, so I think I will use red paint here. I must have a red crayon somewhere. Sometimes art is more about the process of making it rather than the product you make. And sometimes abstract art can be like that. It's so much fun to make it, and it makes you relaxed and feel good. It's a way to sort of express yourself and have fun. You don't always have to think about exactly what you want it to look like. Sometimes it just ends up looking a certain way, and that's okay. I don't really have a plan. I'm just making it up as I go. I do like how the watercolor, it sort of adds an interesting texture to it. Ooh, I didn't rinse my brush out in between colors. And I got the red and purple mixed up. Now, I think I'm going to add colors here and here as well over the stripes. Which colors should I pick? I have blue. What if I put green up there? That might be fun. Let's try it. And I'm just going to go right over this orange and see what happens. Kind of interesting. Notice how it gets on the paper, but it's sort of resisting where the crayon is. Ooh, I like it. Now there's one more space. Which color should I use? I have red here, so I don't want to put an orange there. I have yellow here. Should I do green? I did green up here. Maybe I will do green. All right. Ooh. Remember that your art does not have to look anything like mine. Your abstract art can be any shapes, lines, colors you want. But I'd like you to use your whole page, and I'd like you to use lots of color. If you notice, I used time lapse when I was doing my drawing and my coloring. So that means it looked like I was going really fast, but I was taking my time. You should always take your time when you're creating art, because art takes time. It's not a race. All right. So I cannot wait to see the abstract Kandinsky inspired art that you make. And I hope you enjoyed drawing and painting with me today. I'll see you next time. Thanks for joining me for Art with Miss V. I'll see you next time.